he's really excited to be able to tell you all about them. This is my son, Alec. Come on up here, Alec.
Hey everybody, like you said, my name is Alec. I'm Dinosaur Boy. I'm going to be teaching you about dinosaurs. And I have chosen 3 dinosaurs to talk about. The T-Rex, the Triceratops, and the Brachiosaurus. But before we start with those guys, I think I'm going to tell you a little about myself. I started to like dinosaurs when I was 3 years old. And I'm 10 now. It's been 7 years. 7 years is a pretty long time. And over that time, I've collected toy dinosaurs, dinosaur shirts, dinosaur blankets, dinosaur books. I've drawn pictures I've done, written my own little short stories. I've been to museums, state parks, anywhere you can find a dinosaur fossil or footprint. And I want to share that knowledge with you guys. I chose the T-Rex, the Brachiosaurus, and the Triceratops because I think they are representatives of the 2 dinosaur families, theropods and sauropods. Can everyone say theropod? Theropod. Okay, good job. Now can you say sauropod? Sauropod. A theropod is a dinosaur that walked on 2 feet and had feet that looked like claws. A sauropod is a dinosaur that walked on 4 feet and had feet that looked like hands or elephant feet. Sauropods are being divided into 2 types, long-necked sauropods and short-necked sauropods. Long-necked sauropods are Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and other dinosaurs like that. And short-necked sauropods are Triceratops, Dinosaurus, and other dinosaurs like that. But before we start, there are some words that you guys have to know. The first word is carnivore. Can everyone say carnivore?
Carnivore.
A carnivore is an animal that eats only meat. The next word is herbivore. Can everyone say herbivore? Herbivore. An herbivore is an animal that eats only plants. And the next word is omnivore. Can everybody say omnivore? Omnivore. An omnivore is an animal that eats both plants and meat. Dinosaurs lived in the Mesozoic era, which was 252 million years ago. Can everyone say Mesozoic? Mesozoic. The Mesozoic era was split into 3 different time periods. The first was the Triassic period, 250 to 200 million years ago. Did everyone say Triassic? Triassic. The next period was the Jurassic period, 200 to 145 million years ago. Can anyone say Jurassic? Jurassic. And the last period was the Cretaceous period, 145 to 65 million years ago. Can everyone say Cretaceous? Good job. Now, I'm going to first teach you about the T-Rex. The T-Rex was a theropod and also a biped carnivore. A biped is a dinosaur that walked on 2 legs. Does everybody see his long legs? Yes. You might think that those legs allowed him to run at high speeds, maybe about 40 miles per hour. That's not true. Scientists believe that the fastest speed he could reach was a fast talk of 11 miles per hour. Everyone can you see his little arms? Yes. Scientists believe that these arms serve no useful function in his life whatsoever. Imagine a T-Rex is chasing down his prey, and he trips and falls, stretching out his arms to break that fall. Those arms are going to break under his enormous weight. T-Rex had 6-inch long banana-like teeth that he used to bite into his prey and tear out chunks of meat. T-Rex didn't chew his food, he swallowed those chunks whole. T-Rex had a long tail that he used to balance his giant head. My assistant's going to show you a demonstration of that.
Sandra, assistant.
So, she's going to keep her feet flat on the ground and lean forward as far as she can without falling. Now she's going to try and do it with one leg stretched out behind her. As you can see, she can go farther. That's what T-Rex's tail would do. It would balance his enormous head so he can lean farther without tipping over. That's a T-Rex footprint.
Whoa!
It's about the actual size.
It's so enormous.
The next dinosaur is the Brachiosaurus. sauropod herbivore. A quadruped is a dinosaur that walks on 4 legs, not 2. It used its long neck to reach leaves on trees really high up. It would then use its crusher-like teeth to flatten the plants until they were small enough to swallow. Just like T-Rex, Brachiosaurus did not chew his food. He would swallow stones called gastroliths. Can everyone say gastrolith? He would use those stones to mash up the food inside his stomach. Unlike us, Brachiosaurus didn't have his nostrils on the front of his head. He had them on the top. Although he was a very slow dinosaur, if he was alive today, you'd think he was fast because his steps are so much bigger than ours, and he can get places with less steps than we can. That is a Brachiosaurus footprint. It is probably not actual size, but that is the shape. The last dinosaur we're talking about is the Triceratops. Triceratops means 3-horned face. Why? He has 3 horns on his face. Scientists don't know what his horns were used for, whether they were for self-defense or just to show off. But scientists are pretty sure he used his large bill to protect his neck from predators. Triceratops was also a quadruped sauropod herbivore, but unlike Brachiosaurus, it was a short-necked sauropod, not a long-necked one. Triceratops used his beak to strip the leaves off of lower bushes. You might be thinking, why does Triceratops need a beak to eat plants, but Brachiosaurus doesn't? The answer is that Triceratops would use a beak to strip the leaves off of the stalks. The Brachiosaurus would eat both the stalk and the leaves. Brachiosaurus was a very large dinosaur, and it was about from that rug to that stool, I don't know what it is. And it was about this high. That is the shape and smaller size of a Triceratops footprint. Does anybody have any questions about the 3 dinosaurs I just talked about? You?
Do you have stronger texture?
Which dinosaur? The Triceratops had a pretty thick hide, so it wasn't very easy for predators to bite into him. And some scientists believe that when a predator got close, the Triceratops would ram into them with his horns. You?
The first one, the T-Rex, why does it have big feet?
Scientists believe that it used those big feet to hold down its prey, since its arms were too short to do that. You, in the back. Yeah, you.
Why does the Triceratops have such big legs? And because how could it really walk without having all that pressure put on the legs?
Its legs had very strong muscles in them, so they were able to carry his body easily, and he had those big legs so he could outrun predators like the T-Rex. Anybody else? You.
Why does the T-Rex have enormous teeth?
He has those teeth because he's a carnivore, meaning he eats other dinosaurs. He would use those teeth to bite into the dinosaurs and rip out chunks of flesh and eat them. Sounds a little gross. Flower train.
The cardboard foot that you showed us, are they foot that you measure like
Do we measure the feet to make sure they were the right size?
no. Like do you measure them like from real dinosaurs or
Yes, those were the footprints, the same size. No, not the same size, the same shape. Some of them weren't the same size. The Brachiosaurus and the Triceratops, we believe they were a little smaller than the real ones, but the T-Rex we tried to get exactly right. Anybody else? Other questions? No? Okay. Oh, you?
Was there any chance to determine whether it was the actual T-Rex footprint?
We looked at Paleontologist websites to see the bones and footprints that people have found in state parks, and people have dug up the feet, and we used those. Okay. You?
Goodness, so was the other dinosaurs that you had?
Okay. Over here we have the Diplodocus. This is the Stegosaurus.
Why don't you talk about them a little bit?
Okay.
Talk about each one.
Diplodocus, which was much like the Brachiosaurus, but it wasn't tall, it was long. It lived in the Jurassic period, and when it was being attacked, it would use its whip-like tail to make a cracking noise in the air and scare away the predators. The Stegosaurus had these plates on its back to protect its back from predators. Also, when threatened, it would swing its tail, and when a predator tried to attack it, it would try and swing its tail right into their stomach and injure them so they would go away. Utah raptors hunted in packs, and they had terrible claws that they used to latch onto their prey and tear into their flesh with their teeth. They were also very fast and big.
How big were they? Do you know?
They were about 7 feet tall and 10 to 14 feet long. This is a Parasaurolophus. Can everybody see his long skull?
Yeah.
In that skull, it was hollow, and he would create a sound that went and he would use that sound to scare away other predators, give them headaches, so they'd be confused and not let them eat it. You question?
I have a Parasaurolophus too.
Oh yeah, that's cool. This is an Ankylosaurus.
Wow.
It had lots of protection on its back and on its back and head, and had a club-like tail that it would use to defend itself. This is the Deinonychus. Just like the Utah raptor, it had that terrible claw that it would use to latch onto its prey. It hunted in the same style as the Utah raptor, although its packs were pretty small. Instead of 7 or 8, it would hunt in packs of 2 or 3. This is a Dimetrodon. It is an example of an omnivore. It would eat bugs and other dinosaurs, but also eat ferns and leaves.
I have the same dinosaur at home that I got from friends from school.
Good job. You?
I thought it was Paleontology.
Oh, cool. You?
Like in how the fractions of its big, like, the frill on the back, how did it use those legs? How did it use it?
What dinosaur are you talking about?
The one that you're talking about. Dad, we need to
Dimetrodon frill. What was it for? What purpose did the frill serve?
Oh, the frill, the Dimetrodon would hold it up in the sun to warm itself up. And if there was wind, it would hold up the frill to cool, and so the wind would pass through it and cool it down. It was also meant to make it look bigger and scarier than it really was.
How big was it?
It was about 4 feet tall, not including the frill, and 6 feet long.
used his frill to regulate his body temperature.
You?
Okay, so what's the ocean dinosaur?
Sure.
Can I see? Oh, right over there. The red one? The red one? Can I see that?
This is an ichthyosaurus. Although it was related to dinosaurs, it was not a real dinosaur. It belonged to a family of reptiles and fish called plesiosaurs. It would use its long snout to catch fish and eat them on the spot. It was also a very fast swimmer, related to today's dolphins. You?
I put dinosaur.
You?
Why is it fish? Why is it something looking like a dolphin?
Scientists believe that dolphins and other fish may have evolved from the ichthyosaurus. You?
How big was it?
I don't know the exact size. I don't know the exact length, how many feet it was, but I can give you like a size rendering. It was maybe from this Stegosaurus's mouth to the tip of this item covered by a blanket, and from the floor to about up here. You? Yes, they are the same species, but the toy manufacturers decided to make that one with an injury instead of being not hurt. Uninjured. You?
What's this dinosaur name?
That's a Stegosaurus.
Well, they call it I thought this was the cartoon, the other one. The other one that looked like a dinosaur. That guy.
Come and show. You can come and show.
Except like this, it was another dinosaur that was I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's like it was like this, but I think and it looks like this, but it was short. That name. It starts with a T.
I don't know what you're talking about. But if I ever learn about that, I'll get back to you. You?
What is under that pink covered in grass?
You're gonna find out in just a moment.
I know.
Well, then what is it?
A dinosaur boy.
No. Jake?
I think I know what he's talking about the dinosaur.
Really? What is it?
It's like called the Dinosaurus instead of the plates that has the spikes.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just didn't remember the name.
Say it again.
Triceratops? Maybe?
No, say it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the microphone over here. This microphone can't go that far, so
The Jungosaurus? Jungosaurus?
Okay, does anybody have any more questions?
I do.
I know. You?
Alec,
Oh.
what
Who should
what do you imagine they would taste like? If we could taste them, what do you imagine they would taste like?
Bad.
Bad?
You.
Chicken.
I have a question. How did the sea turtle survive the mass extinction?
How did the sea turtles survive the mass extinction? I think that the sea turtles didn't, and that they sort of came back from extinction as being evolved from other animals. You?
Do you know which dinosaur has enormous claws?
Yeah, most of them.
The longest claw.
Therizinosaurus, this guy. If that was a human, he's that tall. Those claws are pretty much as tall as an adult. Luckily, he didn't eat meat. He used those claws to strip bark and leaves off of plants. It was an herbivore.
Also damaging the whole world if he's still alive.
Yes. Yes, he would.
I have a question. I wonder why they killed the dinosaurs.
Some scientists believe that it was an asteroid 3 miles wide that struck the Earth and is what is now the Gulf of Mexico, sending out a shockwave, killing most of the dinosaurs. Although it did not kill all of them, scientists believe it was a week-long process, and most dinosaurs that weren't killed by the asteroid were killed by lack of food and water and sunlight. Any other questions? You?
Why does the T-Rex sometimes when I'm at home, I think that T-Rexes are supposed to have blue eyes instead of red eyes?
Nobody really knows what color the eyes were because eyes need blood to survive, and if the dinosaur dies, its heart doesn't work anymore, so it can't pump blood, and over time, those eyes are going to rot away, and all people can find are the bones. So no one really knows what the color was.
So scientists dig up the bones?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Scientists that dig them up are called paleontologists, and they put those bones in plaster and carry them to museums. Okay, this has to be the last question because we're kind of running out of time. You.